Have you ever found yourself waiting for something that seemed like it would never arrive? A bus at the stop, an opportunity in life, a response that could change everything? At some point, we've all lived through this anguish, this tension between desire and reality. But what if I told you that hidden within a seemingly insane video where words explode like fire bullets, there's a philosophical truth so profound it could completely change the way you view waiting? Maybe you clicked on this video because something in this introduction caught your attention. Maybe you're waiting for answers. Maybe, like me, you wonder if life is just this endless cycle of waiting and frustration. The truth is, what I'm about to share with you might be uncomfortable, but also liberating. So take a deep breath, because I promise you, by the end of this video, you'll never see waiting the same way again. It all starts with the scene of a boy waiting for a bus. It seems trivial, doesn't it? But pay attention. He's not just waiting. He's caught in a paradox. The longer he waits, the less he believes the wait will last. And the more he believes that, the more he's trapped in the uncertainty of will it ever come? This story, which at first seems like a simple metaphor, reveals something that haunts us daily. The struggle between patience and despair. And let's be honest, how many times have you felt like this? Trapped between wanting to move forward and the fear of giving up, thinking that the moment you quit, what you've been waiting for might finally arrive. And that's the trap. A psychological trap so powerful that it shapes how we make decisions. Now let's dig a little deeper. Imagine this boy at the bus stop. He believes the bus is coming because someone told him it was, but what sustains his wait? Is it hope or fear? Hope that the bus will actually come, or fear that if he gives up, the bus will show up the second he turns his back? This duality is familiar, isn't it? Think about the times you've waited for love, a job offer, or even a divine sign. In all these situations, time seems to toy with your mind. A second stretches into an eternity, and that eternity seems to confirm that your wait is in vain. But what if the problem isn't time? What if the problem is how we deal with it? This phrase, the longer I wait, the less I have to wait, seems contradictory at first glance. But take a closer look. There's a powerful logic here. When you wait for something, there's a point where your mind starts creating justifications to keep waiting. After all, so much time has passed that giving up now would feel like wasting all the effort. It's like an emotional investment. You've put so much into it that leaving now feels like losing everything. And here's the brilliance of this reflection. You're stuck, not because of reality, but because of the idea that waiting must have a purpose. But what if it doesn't? Here's the thought that messes with our heads. The boy at the bus stop teaches us something he himself hasn't realized. He's not waiting for the bus. He's waiting for validation that his choice to wait was the right one. And that changes everything. Because if we think about it, waiting isn't about the time that passes, but about how we feel about it. It's about the story we tell ourselves to justify the pain, the sacrifice, and even the doubt. Have you ever thought about this? That maybe the real reason you haven't walked away from that painful situation is the fear of facing the fact that all your waiting was for nothing. The boy at the bus stop isn't just a metaphor for waiting. He's a representation of how we live our lives, always believing that the next moment will be better, that the next attempt will be rewarding, that the next bus will finally take us to our destination. But here's the secret. Maybe the real lesson isn't in the bus, but in the waiting itself. Because while we wait, we're forced to confront our own expectations, our own limitations, and most importantly, the fear of making decisions. And that's exactly where the philosophy of this boy hits us hard. The longer I wait, the less I have to wait. This phrase might seem absurd at first glance, but it carries a transformative power. It challenges us to look at waiting not as a burden, but as a choice. Are you waiting because you want to, or because you feel like you have no other option? And if the answer is the latter, what's stopping you from simply walking away from the bus stop? This is the question that shatters all excuses. Because deep down, we know we're not waiting for the bus, but for something bigger, the validation that our waiting was worthwhile. Now, I want you to reflect. Think about something you're waiting for in your life, something that seems like it will never arrive. Now ask yourself, why are you still waiting? Is it because you believe it's worth it, or because you're afraid to give up? The truth is, life is full of bus stops. Sometimes the bus comes, and sometimes it doesn't. But what truly matters isn't the time we spend waiting, but how we use that time to transform ourselves. So, the next time you find yourself caught in this trap, remember, waiting doesn't define you. Your choices do. And maybe, just maybe, it's time to leave the stop and start walking in the direction you really want to go. And if this video made you think, share it with someone you think needs to hear this. Because just like me, maybe they're also waiting for the wrong bus.